Banjul, this is GRTS News, broadcasting for viewers in the Gambia and around the world. We begin with our top stories this hour. President Barrow receives in audience several political groups at the State House, pledging their support and loyalty to him and his National People's Party. Tension fumes at the Kanifing Municipal Council as the state sends investigators to examine the $12 million fraud allegations involving the council's chief executive officer, Seinabu Martin Sonko. 200 supporters of the United Democratic Party's Sukuta branch have defected to the National People's Party in a massive rally held over the weekend in Jambur. In sports, the 2020 Olympics comes to an end with fireworks lit up the Tokyo night sky during an upbeat that initially saw over 11,000 athletics competing across 339 events. On the internationals, voters in Zambia are set to go to the polls on Thursday in a closely contested election that experts say will test the impatience of many Zambians who are fed up with voting without changes. Well, these and many other stories coming ahead in this edition of the news. Thank you for joining us. Many thanks there for joining GRTS News. I am Fatoumata Cham. We begin this edition of the bulletin with the presidency, where His Excellency Adama Barrow yesterday received in audience several political groups at the State House who came to pledge support and loyalty to him and his National People's Party. As Modu Jallo reports, the groups, which comprised of several women associations and opposition party defectors, were led to the State House by the renowned community women heads and mobilizers.
Several women groups representing associations under the banner of the NPP party amassed at the State House yesterday to pledge their support and loyalty to the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow. Among them also are dozens of defectors who claim to be from the opposition GDC party. Speaking at the event, Fadu Sise, the president of the Japo Don Bena group, expressed profound gratitude to President Barrow for receiving them at the State House, reassuring that they are resolved to strengthen his political base. The Mbai of the Barrow Sisters group said after careful consultations with members, they have decided to reorient all their efforts and resources towards strengthening the NPP party, particularly within the Old Unum area where its membership is based. The NPP deputy party spokesperson, Sidin Jai, thanked the groups for making the bold decision at a time when the country is gearing for the presidential election in December. He described President Barrow as development-oriented, who has accomplished several projects in the areas of infrastructure, energy and agriculture, adding that the future holds great prospects for the country under President Barrow's leadership. The NPP deputy spokesperson argued that the President has fulfilled all promises made to Gambians, and it is now the responsibility of the voters to repay his goodwill. The deputy national president of the party, Demba Sabali, recorded these comments, urging Gambians from all walks of life to embrace the NPP party as it is the party of development, peace and reconciliation. He also reassured that the NPP as a party is open to the masses and called on all women groups to embrace the party to ensure that the president wins the election in December. The spokesperson of the party, Ibrahim Asila, reassured party militants that the party will defend all its members against elements who would seek to disenfranchise people on the pretext that they are non-Gambians. Minister Sila therefore called on supporters to prepare for the all-important election in December, predicting that the NPP will win by 75% of the vote. He also urged them to ensure that the party also secure a majority at the National Assembly and local government councils. The President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, paid tribute to all the groups for gracing this important event, describing it as evidence of their support and loyalty for the party. President Barrow described the Gambia as a diverse country, warning against attempts at dividing the country based on tribes and ethnicity. This, the President continued, would be dangerous as it could upset the peace and stability in the country. Speaking about the bonds between the Gambia and Senegal, President Barrow described the two countries as very close with shared history and values. He urged citizens to nurture this special relationship between the two countries, reassuring that he will continue to work closely with his Senegalese counterpart to consolidate the relationship. The President reassured that the future is bright for the country, disclosing that he will launch even more ambitious projects after December 4th. President Barrow called for unity among Gambians urging people to shun politics of hate and division that only seek to undermine peace and stability. He finally reassured the women that his government will continue to support women empowerment, citing the Women Enterprise Fund as an example of an initiative to help Gambian women across the country. Mamadou Diallo, GRTS News.
Tensions fume at the Kanifing Municipal Council as the state sends investigators to examine the $12 million fraud allegations involving the council's chief executive officer, Sainabu Martin Sanka. The mayor of the Kanifing municipality, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, today presided over an emergency general council meeting following the local government ministry's decision to reinstall the suspended chief executive officer, who earlier this morning reported to work but was denied entry into the premises of the Kanifing Municipal Council. Samuel Ba was there and witnessed what unfolded, and this is his report.
This was the scene of protesting workers at the administrative grounds of the Kanifing Municipal Council. Scores of council workers gathered outside the municipal premises to protest the local government ministry's decision to reinstate CEO Sainabu Martin, who was sent on administrative suspension for her alleged involvement in a $12 million fraud saga. Now, weeks after her suspension and what unfolded in a raft of revelations, CEO Sainabu Martin reported to work on Monday on the instructions of the local government ministry, despite calls for her resignation.
The first time I was denied entry, I liaised with the ministry because I was employed through the ministry. So if I have any problems at my workplace, as expected, they must be aware of it. So I am going to liaise with them. I have already done that, and I am being advised to hang around. Negotiations are being done.
Martins argued that her suspension was illegal and that the council had acted unlawfully regarding the $12 million corruption scandal.
The ministry advised that the decision did not follow due process and it needs to be rescinded, and allow me to go to work until a full investigation is done into this matter and a decision be taken regarding the allegations that have been alleged against me.
Representatives of council staff are now raising concerns over monthly payments that have not been remitted to a particular estate dealer. Murunjai is the president of the KMC Staff Welfare Association.
This $12 million in loan was never, and I repeat, was never acquired in the name of the KMC Staff Welfare Association. Reason being, there are procedures clearly stated in the KMC Staff Welfare Association's constitution.
Our concern is the 9 million from the staff welfare and our lands that we are paying to one Amorial estate. For these past 2 months, the money have not been paid. I know that June have been paid to the staff welfare, but we don't know where the money is. And there's no anything in the system that they have paid to the man.
We are in support of the decision of which our council have taken. Our council have made a general resolution that let them go and sit down until investigations are completed. And this is the verdict of the staff. This is why we are here.
However, CEO Martins, who was denied entry into the council premises for the second time, said the allegations against her are false and she has evidence and hopes that due process will be followed.
I am confident in the facts I have, and it's just a matter of allowing me to present my facts. Even before the decision was done or taken, I was not even given the opportunity to be heard. So they went and held their meeting, came up with their decision and demanded my resignation.
Meanwhile, an emergency general council meeting was convened to discuss the presence of paramilitary law enforcement officers who reportedly came to install Madam Martins.
At exactly 7 a.m. this morning, I came to work as usual and I found 2 pickup trucks full of paramilitary officers here at our door. I did my normal salute with my municipal police officers and I asked the Commissioner of Police what is the meaning of this and why are the police intervention unit here in their tactical gear, and he told me, according to the commander in charge, they have received executive directives to forcefully install the CEO in her office.
Civil society parties have also tried to engage all relevant parties to resolve the issue amicably.
We are taking responsibility to work with all of us as a family to make sure that we amicably go through the processes that are required to come to the very end of this peacefully.
I would like to appeal to all parties, that is the ministry, the council, and the mayor, in resolving differences and disputes, to do so with decorum and respect and in accordance with the law.
This is a difficult year, but Gambians, we can work together and make the best for our country. Political divisions must not cause a national division. We could be diversified in our ideas, in our political affiliations, but we are still one people.
Former Interior Minister and GMC leader Mai Ahmed Fati also came to express solidarity with the council on what he called a matter of national significance.
I am extremely concerned about sending law enforcement agencies in situations which are not warranted. And I believe that KMC councillors have demonstrated themselves in the best of manner in accordance with the law. I would urge the ministry to allow fair investigations to proceed, and I would crave the indulgence of the officers impunged to stay away until the investigations are fully completed.
A resolution made by the mayor in consultation with the General Council now recommends that the CEO recuse herself from the position on council grounds and that investigations be carried out on her alleged culpability. Samuel Bach, GRTS.
And away from that, executive members of the National People's Party in Jambur Marikan has organized a political rally to amplify the voices of natives in pledging their support to President Adama Barrow and the NPP party. The rally, funded by Jinkon Brothers and Sisters Foundation under the leadership of its chief executive, who doubles as the national youth president of the National People's Party, saw some 200 supporters of the United Democratic Party's Sukuta branch defecting to the National People's Party. Ba Ibrahim Cham attended the massive rally held over the weekend in Jambur, and this is his report.
It was an explosion of euphoria and amplified voices and commitment by the natives of Jambur Marikan and its satellite villages. As the National People's Party, Jambur Executive takes on its series of community engagements and meetings within the West Coast region. The Jinkon Brothers and Sisters Foundation was the sole sponsors of the rally under the leadership of the foundation CEO and the National Youth President Keba Madi Bojang. The rally hosted senior government officials and executive members of the party. Minister Ibrahim Silla, a native of Jambur, stated that NPP is conducting community rallies at grassroots within the West Coast region to sell the party's agenda of transformational development.
We know that yes, the NPP has a strong support in the West Coast region, but we want to test the ground ourselves to look at what needs to be done, to learn from little experiences, to make sure that we connect the people together. We bring all the concerns. By the time we go into campaign proper, we would have graduated from those little things and then concentrate effectively on the campaign, on the issues and the mobilization, as well as retention, but also, capturing other members from other political parties to join the NPP.
Sirinjai, deputy spokesperson of the party, said that the level of attendance of this rally is a sign of appreciation from the people of Kombo South, acknowledging the first-class roads constructed for Kombo by the Barrow administration.
And they have been fulfilling the social contract His Excellency had with the Gambian people. They've ushered in unprecedented development to all spheres of society and to all Gambians. The people of Kombo South, especially Jambur here to Farato, their road is on construction. And the road behind us is a first-class road. The electricity and water supply have been expanded. And also the youth empowerment, women empowerment, and there are a lot of development ushered into this community around here by President Adama Barrow.
Influential speakers took turns to pledge their support to the party. Dembo Cisse, the chairman of Jambo chapter, stated that this is a clear example of victory for the upcoming presidential elections. The regional chairman Lamin Jatta stated that NPP is a party of peace and development oriented, and that all Gambians must rally behind President Barrow for upholding true values of democracy. The climax of the evening was when a total of 200 youths from the United Democratic Party, Sukuta branch, defected to the National People's Party. The youth leader Tijan explained that they have been in opposition for 22 years and it's high time they join the winning party. The youths were welcomed to the party by Minister Ibrahim Silla and Minister Ami Fabre. Fabu Sane, National Organizing Secretary of NPP, stated that though this is just the beginning of its community engagements, it has already looked like a mega rally. He reminded the people of Jambur about the best roads and infrastructure built for the people of Kombo South by the borough administration. Dusano, political advisor to the president, commended the councillor of Jambur, Mamadou Bojang, stated that he is a true patriot and has followed the footsteps of his father. The CEO of Jinkon Brothers and Sisters Foundation, Keba Madi Bojang, who also doubles as the national youth president of NPP, asserted that he will take up the responsibility to ensure that President Barrow emerges victorious in the whole of West Coast region.
Because Jinkon is a company which we are giving support to Gambians and we are helping Gambians for many things so that this country can go forward. That's what we are doing. Already we have all those developments we need. One, we need the road, we get it, they are on it. Two, we need market, me and my company, we are doing the market, you are seeing it. So we need the hospital, that also we did it. So Jambur, what we need from President Barrow, we already have it, we got it.
The NPP executive's next community rally is in the Fonies, which is expected to last for 4 days as the party works towards securing the votes amid the upcoming presidential elections. Reporting for GRTS News, I'm by Ibrahim Chan.
Now, a $3 million contract agreement has been signed by the Ministry of Agriculture and microfinance institutions in the country. The development, as Yasin Jiba reports, is funded by the Islamic Development Bank to finance the small ruminant production enhancement project and selected partner organizations for improved support towards livestock production. We have more in this report.
The loan scheme will be available to farmers based on Sharia credit facility to enable farmers to produce home-based livestock for marketing, especially during festivities. 10,000 producers are targeted for the implementation of the first phase of the project. In a statement, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Hassan Jallo, calls on the stakeholders to take ownership of the project to ensure a vibrant livestock subsector development.
For a farmer to take a loan, what he is envisaging, what he plans, is that what he sees. But then if we can guarantee him a market, if we know why he's going to market, then we are making more for the success of that loan. So basically the National Livestock Owners Association has a stake in this to make sure that their members are properly guided in what they are taking the loans for. If you take a loan for something that will not produce at the end of the day, you will not have a market, it will not produce a required revenue, you can never pay the loan.
PS Jallo said the Ministry of Agriculture will give the technical support towards the implementation of the fourth component for the benefit of the producers. Speaking on behalf of the microfinance institutions, Babukar Juf described the project as an opportunity for the microfinance institutions to partner with government and contribute their quota for national development.
The excitement is overwhelming that, like the president of NALO said, this is the first time this kind of attention is being given to small ruminant production value chain. In many ways that is significant for the Gambia, and the project director has mentioned the perceived socioeconomic benefits of this project, provided we perform. Gambia Teachers Union, Cooperative Credit Union and Supersonics are not the best microfinance institutions in this country. We have some advantages, key amongst which is our practice of Islamic microfinance, which we are both currently engaged.
For their part, the beneficiaries of the Livestock Farmers Association, President Ibrahim O. Jallo, said they are pleased to have such an opening to loans that will enhance the production and productivity of livestock for Gambians.
If you do what you have done for the teachers, farmers will definitely be very happy because you have done a lot for the teachers in this country. And I believe even if you do half of it, some more ruminant things will be a history.
The project, if well implemented, Gambians will enjoy its own well-grown animals with health benefits. For the news, this is Yasin Jimba.
And from that report by GRTS's Yasin Jiba, we earlier spoke to Mr. Mahmoud Njai, he is project director of the Small Ruminant Production Enhancement Project, to expand the conversation on how the project will be managed as well as implemented. Here's an excerpt.
Very, very important because small ruminants, we all know, is part of our lives, and both for our social needs, our religious needs, and for income generation. And it's also seen as one of the fastest way of lifting people out of poverty. It is a short cycle species, and they can easily make people much better, especially the rural population. So this project has come to enhance the production and the productivity of the small ruminant, and then it's a value chain project, taking it along from production to processing, marketing, and to consumption. So it involves all areas and really is out to make the Gambia more sustainable, especially when it comes to religious fish, to have enough animals bred within the country and then sold within the country, and this will reduce the amount of money that is going out to other countries during this feast.
Now, having said that, I mean, talk to us about how the scheme will be managed and implemented in the country.
The scheme is to be managed by the two microfinance institutions that have been selected, which is the Gambia Teachers Union, Credit Cooperative Union. Here, if we say this, the Teachers Credit Cooperative Union has an Islamic microfinance division within, and that microfinance division is the one that has been awarded the contract, and the Supersonic Financial Limited, because these are the two microfinance. They were selected based on having a window of Islamic microfinance. Two, they had a good MIS system, and they have outreach in the targeted areas of the project. So these are the two microfinance institutions that have been contracted for 3 years to share $3 million, $1.5 million for each, and they will be disbursing these $3 million during the next 3 years for value chain actors.
I mean, quite interesting. Now, I mean, the question comes in now. I mean, everybody that is listening, especially for livestock farmers, they would want to know how they can access the loan scheme and at what percentage exactly.
This loan scheme is specifically for small ruminant producers. It's not for cattle, not for anything, but for small ruminant producers along the value chain. And what they need to access these funds are two basic things. One, for those in the processing aspect and marketing aspect, normally they are licensed by the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agencies. So all what they need to do is to produce their license to show that they are involved in small ruminant production. Now, for those who are in the producing side, they are working with the Department of Livestock Services, and it is the Livestock Services personnel, especially the regional directors and others, who will attest to show that they are really involved in small ruminant production.
Right.
Because this facility is specifically for small ruminant enhancement and production.
Exactly. Now, and before we let you go, how long will the project last, and what is your message to all the actors out there?
Now, the project will last for 4 years. This contract we signed with the microfinance institution is for 3 years. So it will run along the project implementation, and we are urging all those in the value chain, in the small ruminant sector, to make use of this $3 million. It's $3 million that is given, but at the end of the day, this $3 million will be returned to the IDB. And we don't want this $3 million to be in the country and people don't make use of it until the 3-year elapse. It will not be useful. So we would urge especially, and this project is targeting mainly women and youths. And this is an opportunity for youths. Instead of going through the back way, they now have the opportunity. They can go borrow money from this microfinance. Exactly. And to add to that, this scheme is specifically Sharia compliant. It's not where you pay interest. It is specifically Sharia compliant, and then it will run along Islamic values.
Do you have measures in place to monitor the implementation and how it pans out?
Yes, because these two microfinance, two special accounts are opened at the Central Bank of the Gambia, and then they will open two commercial bank accounts at their level. Now, disbursement will come from the IDB through the recommendation of the project to these special accounts, and we will be disbursing to this microfinance institution. At any one time, there should be $300,000 to disburse for each microfinance. So as they disburse, we will replenish what is taken based on proper auditing.
Right.
When they make a request, it has to be audited, and it has to prove that this thing has gone the way we want it, and then we replenish through the IDB.
And that was Mr. Mahmoud Jai. He's project director, Small Ruminant Production Enhancement Project. They're talking to us earlier about how the $3 million Small Ruminant Production Enhancement Project will be managed as well as implemented. And moving on now, First Lady Madam Fatoumata Barrow has today presided over the inaugural ceremony of the electroencephalograph machine donated to the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. The machine is used to test epilepsy as one of the country's major health challenges. Louis Mende reports on the donation facilitated by the Epilepsy and Stigma Support Foundation, a Gambian-based charity united against all forms of stigma against epilepsy. This is his report.
Encephalogram machine, also called the EEG machine, donated to Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, is used to diagnose epilepsy, a nervous system disorder in which brain activity becomes abnormal, causing seizures or periods of unusual behavior, sensation, sometimes loss of awareness. The machine was donated by the Tele-EEG group in UK. From UK and through a virtual platform, Dr. Stephen Coates, the president of the group, said they will continue to support the Gambia's health sector.
As you are probably aware, epilepsy is a significant burden to the whole of the population. It carries problems of injury, premature death, as well as social stigma. But about 70% of those with epilepsy can actually be treated successfully and have full and active lives.
The Tele-EEG group support to the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital was facilitated by the Epilepsy and Stigma Support Foundation, a Gambian-based charity founded by Adama Jallow Jane, a Gambian based in the United Kingdom.
Today is a dream come true, a dream born out of years of heartbroken experience of my brother who lives with epilepsy and for whom optimal diagnostic and therapeutic care was never available, leaving him unable to achieve his potentials. Mr. Chairman, this coupled with all the stigma my family had to go through left me with no option but to come up with the Foundation for Epilepsy and Stigma Support, so as to avert the suffering of people living with epilepsy and their families.
Speaking at the inaugural ceremony of the Tele-EEG machine, Usman Yang, the Chief Medical Director at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, said the milestone is a great step towards supporting the people with epilepsy as it remains a major health problem in the country.
For community health services, community mental health service, it is indeed the commonest that is found in the communities, accounting for something like a quarter of mental health services or mental health problems up and down the country. So helping us with that, it is a very great service. The other point about this is that the diagnostics, apart from the application of phenomenology, has been really next to nil in terms of the EEG services that have never been practiced in this place.
Grateful to the Tele-EEG group in UK for the support and the Epilepsy and Stigma Support Foundation for the link. Health Minister Ahmad Samate pointed out the relevance of the epilepsy testing machine to the health sector.
Madam, we thank you very much that you didn't say, what is Gambia doing for me? But you said, what can I do for Gambia? Because Gambia belongs to us all. And each and every one of us has a very important role to play in the socio-economic development of this country.
The government said Minister Samate is determined for a healthy population at all times through the numerous and vital interventions taking shape across the country.
The government of His Excellency is building 6 brand new health centers across the length and breadth of the country. Construction work will soon start. This hospital where we stand, the tender process is on. Very soon it will be concluded, and the entire hospital is going to be renovated, expanded. The polyclinic is going to be completely renovated. The government is equally constructing 12 health posts along the length and breadth of this country.
The electroencephalogram is the most common test used to diagnose epilepsy. In this test, the electrons are attached to your scalp with a pasted-like substance or cap. The electrons record the electrical activities of your brain, demonstrated at the handing over of the machine, a ceremony also graced by First Lady Fatoumata Barbaro. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
Now, the body of the former commander of the 1st Infantry Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Per Mendy, was today laid to rest at the Joshuang Cemetery. Modubajan was among many individuals who attended his funeral procession of the military legend that served his country with distinction. And this is his report.
Aged 57, Lieutenant Colonel Per J. Mendy, who was born in Banjul, attended St. Augustine's Junior Technical School and St. Augustine's High School before getting enlisted in the Gambia National Gendarmerie in 1984. Speaking during his funeral at St. Teresa's Church in Kanifing, Gambia National Army Commander General Usman Gomez encouraged all members of the armed forces to take heart and remember the late senior officer in their prayers.
A man of integrity and honesty who would not give to chance the welfare of his troops. He would ensure all under him were treated properly and were catered for equally. His love for his subordinates continues to resonate today as though he were alive. His caring nature, love, and charisma are being remembered on your everyday reflection. Therefore, we ask God to have mercy on his soul, as he was one that could make his troops laugh while in the course of their duty.
Describing him as a humble comrade and a man of faith, the Army Commander said the late Colonel Per J. Mendy will be remembered for his encouraging words.
We remember that you were a humble comrade. We remember that you were a man of faith. He will always have these encouraging words. And we will remember Per by one song, which he will say, Mandolo means, I did not drink alcohol. And this is the song he brought to the Gambia Armed Forces. And that is widely sung every unit you go to in the Gambia Armed Forces. We will really miss him.
He also added that his colleague's demise is a big challenge.
It's a big challenge because we have to fill that gap, and you need to look for someone who is competent enough to put into his position. But nonetheless, as the saying goes in the military, a soldier man dies, a soldier man takes over. And I believe whoever will be going there will live up to his expectation. Really, we miss him, and we will miss him.
As relatives, friends, and well-wishers pay their last rites, Per Walter Sherry said the late Per Mendy was a charming, nice, and humble person.
Per Mendy was somebody, to me, very quiet, charming, and he was a very easygoing, very nice, very humble guy.
any other things you can tell us about the late Lieutenant Colonel?
He was also very close to my late mom, who passed away last year. And my mom, when Pierre leaves, he would tell me, "Tiel ma Pierre, ki ku bahla," right? Jeka release ki ku bahla, tiel mako sa tomala, tiel mako, right? Those were the words of my mom. Believing in God, we feel he's in a better place. Although he has created a vacuum, we pray that may his departed soul rest in a perpetual peace.
Serving in many domains of the military, which saw him posted to State House in 1989, where he was a bodyguard to former President Sadauda Jawara. Per also became the principal protecting officer to former President Yahya Jammeh. In November 1998, he became the head of the military police and also served in the role of acting director of operation and training and commander at Fajara Barracks in 2005. Until his demise, the late Lieutenant Colonel Per J. Mendy was the commander of 1st Infantry Battalion. For the news, this is Modu Bajan.
Well, may the soul of the departed rest in eternal peace. And away from that now, following a surge in COVID-19 cases, GRTS examines the ongoing inoculation exercise at the Bundung Maternal and Child Health Hospital. As Sena Bujani reports, people are coming out in their numbers to get their jabs, whilst health officials keep a close tab on statistics and operational procedures. More in this report.
Commencement of the mass vaccination campaign on COVID-19, scores of people have been visiting various health centers to receive their vaccination. According to a public health officer, Mary Bob at the Bundung Child and Maternal Hospital said the center has so far vaccinated over 2,000 patients since the 26th of July.
People have been coming out, despite there are some still out there that are hesitant of taking the vaccine. But then we make sure that we put out measures so that the public are well informed, and then let them come and take out the vaccine as it is safe.
During the inoculation exercise, Binta Jallo and Ibrahim Kebe shared their experience. There is no problem with the vaccine. There are no difficulties. It's just like any other injection. So I encourage everyone to come and take their vaccines, as prevention is better than cure.
No, I was not hesitant because it's a worldwide pandemic. The press, everywhere people are talking about it. That's why that pushed me to come here to take the vaccine.
With regards to the hesitant, a patient, Lamin Damfa from Kololi, expresses his concern over the vaccine and voiced his doubts.
Due to my health condition, I will not take the vaccine. However, I have questions that need answers. Once health officers answer my questions, I may consider taking the vaccine.
The operations officer for Regional Health Directorate Western 1, Bakalilu Kijera, explained situations on the ongoing vaccination exercise.
We have our target, and then we want to vaccinate 60% of the total population of this country, because you are aware that those that are less than 18 are not part of the people that need to get the vaccines. So basically, we have about 1.4 million people that are supposed to receive this vaccine, approximately. So as far as we are concerned, we've just stood at 6.4% of Gambians receive their full dose of COVID-19 vaccine. So we have 6.4% of Gambians are fully vaccinated. That is those that receive 2 doses of AstraZeneca and also 1 dose of Johnson & Johnson.
Our finding revealed that people are gradually going in for COVID jabs as part of preventive measures to combat the pandemic. Saina Bajang for GRTS News.
Well, let's now take our first break. Sports news is up next. Do stay. Welcome back to GRTS News at 2200 hours. Over now to sports, where Olympa Africa has successfully defended the knockout title after beating Gamtel in the finals of the Gambia Volleyball Federation knockout competition. Well, in the female category, the police volleyball team also defeated the soldiers to win the knockout title. Farmer Abaji witnessed the finals and he tells us more in this report.
The volleyball court at the Independence Stadium was the scene of an electrifying atmosphere on the final day of the 2021 volleyball season, with two intriguing finals. A boisterous crowd filled the stands to rally behind their respective teams, as Olymp Africa of Serekunda is locked horns with Gamtel Gamsel in the men's final, while GAF entertained GPF in the women's knockout final. The first showdown was between the league champions Olymp Africa male volleyball team and the Gamtel Gamsel. This was a pulsating encounter, with Olymp Africa winning the first set by 25 points to 22. Gamsel fought back to win the second set 25-15. The third set and the fourth set went in Olymp Africa's favor, who showed some superiority to outclass Gamtel Gamsel, with some powerful smashes to outscore their opponents. Having dominated the telecom giants, the Olymp Africa fans were already on their feet in celebration, as the Serekunda East boys smashed home the winning point to win by 3 sets to 1.
I'm very, very excited. And then the boys did well. They did very fantastic. And then they are playing high-level volleyball. That is making me happy. That makes me happy.
I can't say much because I was expecting to win, but it went the other way around. But this is sport, so that's what's up.
The women's final saw the Gambia Police Force battling with the Gambia Armed Forces in an old security affair. When these two sides face off on the court, it always produces a heated contest. The police girls found it easy in the first set, which they won 25-19. But the ensuing 2 sets were going to be different for them. In the second set, the khaki girls proved different. They were able to defend their court very well, while firing at the police sporadically, thereby winning the set with a higher margin of 25-14. GAF again won the third set, and the police won the fourth set, which took the tie to the golden set, meaning the first side to reach 15 will win the contest. The police gained the upper hand to win the deciding set and stole the trophy on the noses of their arch rivals on the court.
If you look at police in the history of volleyball, they have been dominant in the history of volleyball. Until later on GAF came in and tried to snatch away some of this achievement that we had. But this season around, we said no, we want to go back to where we begin. This is why this season we prepared very well, and then thank God we were able, to conquer all the 3 trophies today.
I was all allocated, like the referees were playing like anything they feel like playing, which is not in favor of the game, because the game is something that both teams have prepared fully for the game. So if referee is to play, let them play fair game, not anything you feel like blowing, you blow.
At the end, individual accolades were presented to some of the outstanding players of the season, with Olymp Africa's Modun Gom voted the most valuable player for the 3rd consecutive season.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. Winning trophies at this age, like, it's very good. Like at the age of 17, you winning like this. You winning the National League MVP, best hitter. This is the 3rd time I'm taking MVP, so meaning consistency is there. My target is to become a professional. To be honest with you, right now, I don't want to play the next league here. I want to, take a step and, to know what is in the other level. I want this thing to be as a career.
It was all delight for Olymp Africa, who have completed the double by winning both the league and knockout trophy, while the police team lifted the women's knockout trophy to also complete the league and cup double in 2021 volleyball season. Farmer Abaji, GRTS News.
Well, that was all we had time for in this edition of the news at 10 p.m. But before we go, a quick look at our top stories this hour. President Adama Barrow receives in audience several political groups at the State House, pledging their support and loyalty to him and his National People's Party. Tension fumes at the Kanifing Municipal Council as the state sends investigators to examine the $12 million fraud allegations involving the council's chief executive officer, Seinabu Martin Sonko. 200 supporters of the United Democratic Party's Sukuta branch have defected to the National People's Party in a massive rally held over the weekend at Jambur. In sports, the 2020 Olympics come to an end with fireworks lit up the Tokyo night sky during an upbeat that initially saw over 11,000 athletics competing across 339 events. On the internationals, voters in Zambia are set to go to the polls on Thursday in a closely contested election that experts say will test the impatience of many Zambians who are fed up with voting without change. Well, that was all in this edition of the News at 2200 Hours from me, Fatoumata Cham, and the entire news team. We thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of our very interesting program. Stay safe.